but all of it is basically visual problem solving. That's really what character design is. And I think that we often get so caught up in the design aspect that we forget about character. Like, who is this person?
Yeah,
Who is this going to be when we see him on the
yeah.
screen?
Hello, everyone. My name is Janet, and welcome to Janet Asks. On this channel, I'll be interviewing people from different career industries to help give specific career advice and insights to high schoolers and college students. And hopefully, these interviews can help you understand a little bit more about different career paths and help you learn more about the various career industries by listening to industry professionals. So, if you're interested, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Today, my special guest is Jordan. He is a freelance illustrator, character designer, and concept artist who has created numerous entertainment design projects. He also provides art education in his channel, as well as on Art Prof, which is another amazing YouTube channel that provides great art content. So if you're interested in learning more about art, please subscribe to both channels. I'll link both channels in the description below. And above all, Jordan is an extremely talented and hardworking artist, and I know that you'll gain a lot of insight into what it takes to become a successful entertainment designer. So let's welcome Jordan.
What's up, everyone? Thank you for having me.
To start off, I think it must be pretty cool drawing cartoon characters and bring vivid imagination to life. But I know that entertainment design and character design is much more than that. So, in your opinion, what is entertainment design, and what do you do exactly as an illustrator, character designer, or concept artist?
So entertainment design is really anything is creating designs for anything that is viewed for the entertainment industry, which would be animation, film, games, maybe even novels or comic books, things like that. And the way I describe it to people who don't understand is, let's say you watch an Avengers movie and you see Iron Man doing all this really cool stuff. Well, someone has to design that. Someone has to sit down and think about how his blasters are going to work, or the thrusters, or the cannons, and all of that stuff that's incredibly important to show on camera. We have to think of that stuff. So what I do as a character designer, that's part of my job. I didn't design Iron Man, but I whenever I'm given a character for a prompt, they usually give me like a brief description on who they are, age, height, likes, dislikes, what their journey is throughout the story, and then I try and take all the things that they gave me and then add my own aspect of creativity and whatever little things I think are cool or fun, and try and blend them together to be the best thing that I can create.
I know that being as an artist myself, being an artist takes a long time, and I know that you started your career pretty like at least you started learning art at a really young age. So can you discuss a little bit about your own career journey? Like how did you start, and how did your passion develop in high school and college, and how did you become such a successful artist in the industry?
Well, I started drawing basically since I was really little, like a toddler. The way my mom puts is, I don't know how true this story is, but this is what she told me. She said that I would trace things in the air with my finger when I was little, and then she finally decided, let's give this kid a pencil and see what he does with that. And I just started drawing from there. And until the time I was maybe 13, 14, it was more of a hobby. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot, but I don't know if it was something that I really considered a career until I saw Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time. That show in particular for me, I just saw a whole different side of animation in a TV show that I hadn't seen. Now, obviously, I'd seen lots of Pixar movies and Disney, and I'd seen what animation could do, but for some reason, Avatar really struck a chord with me. And so from there, I met several people in my life, Khalid Birdsong, Michael Buffington, Vernon Salyers, and people who helped me develop as a high schooler. And they all challenged me to really push my boundaries and my limits when it came to drawing. So I took a lot of figure drawing classes. I took a lot of still life courses, painting courses, and I ended up going to two art colleges, Rhode Island School of Design for my undergrad, and then Academy of Art for grad school, where I continue to develop my skills.
That's so cool that you're career started at such a young age. I mean, I also started drawing when since I was 4, so like that's really cool. And from watching your videos on Art Prof, I can tell that your success is achieved through lots of practice and daily sketching, and I think that's an important part of developing as a character designer. So, what are some practices that have helped you improve as an artist?
Mhm. Well, one that I know you personally know of is called the 2500 Challenge, which was given by one of the men I spoke about earlier, Michael Buffington. And he talks about drawing 1,000 heads, 500 arms, 500 legs, 250 hands, and 250 feet in the course of a year.
Yeah,
And what it's supposed to do is really, it's supposed to help you see things really quickly. It's supposed to help you get loose and also to not treat every drawing so preciously. I think one of the traps as artists that we get into is treating everything like it's going to be our magnum opus. But the more you do that, the less likely it is to happen. And so when you get that process under your belt and get really good really fast, then your skills just exponentially grow. So that was a practice that I always will preach until the day I die. That is like probably the biggest thing that
yeah.
really set me apart when I was in school, in
Mhm,
high school and in college.
mhm. For people who are interested in character design, do you think it will benefit them more by practicing like drawing real life people, like the 2500 challenge, or practicing more like with cartoon characters?
This is one of those debates that I feel like makes more sense as you get older.
Yeah.
I think it's better to draw from real life first.
Mhm.
And the reason for it is because when we were making cartoons, like let's say, like I'm actually wearing lots of cartoons on my shirt, right? So let's say like Johnny Bravo or Dexter or something. We're basing that off of real life and simplifying it. So we can take out certain things, like we can simplify how you draw shoulders or how you draw hands or something like that, but it's still based on real life.
Mhm.
And the more you know about anatomy, the more you know about figure drawing and gesture and line of action and weight balance and all that stuff, it's going to influence your cartoons.
Mhm.
So, as tempting as it is, I would say get your strong foundation in
Yeah.
realistic life drawing and then go to
Yeah.
cartoons.
Yeah. So another thing that is important to any artist's career is their art portfolio. So what should an entertainment design portfolio look like?
So it changes depending on the industry. Some industries like video games, want you to be more of a generalist, which means if they say, "Hey, Jordan, we need you to do a environment this day," then you better do an environment. If we need you to do a character this day or plant life or whatever, you have to be able to move pretty easily between all that. In animation, it's a little bit different where you kind of specialize. So if you get a job as a character designer, you're just doing character design. You're not
Mhm.
worrying about anything else or props or storyboards or whatever. So I would say that if you're talking about animation, you should have most of your portfolio be centered around sketches showing your process, how you get from A to B, and your problem solving skills. It's one thing to show really pretty art, but it's another thing when you're showing this is how I got there. This is the inception to the finished product, and this is how it changed over time. And I think that's what studios really value. Now, if you are, more of a generalist and you can do multiple things, which is excellent, you can always add a couple of those in your portfolio here and there, but it shouldn't be the focus. It should be like the cherry on top, like 90% of your characters, then like, hey, I can also do backgrounds and vehicles and stuff too.
Can you discuss a little bit about your process for creating like characters in the entertainment design?
Yeah. So the first thing that I think is incredibly important, which I personally underestimated when I was younger,
Mhm.
or when I was first starting out, was the importance of story. I think every character designer needs to have strong storytelling skills. So, for example, if the character experienced some sort of trauma in their life growing up, can you implement that into their design somehow? Is it, are they insecure about acne or their height or their weight or whatever the situation? Does their ethnicity play a role into it? Like if we use Avatar as an example, there's a very specific way that they designed the Fire Nation. Versus if I were to design, I don't know, Peter Parker, who's just an everyday New Yorker. So you have to consider culture, and all those elements really play together. And then from there, I'll start thinking about shape language. and thinking about how the shapes I use will psychologically affect the audience. And if they're more of a villain character or hero or sidekick, I'll vary those up. And then I'll think about the style that they're supposed to be in, if it's more cartoony or more realistic, uh, and then obviously color and then expressions. So, but all of it is basically visual problem solving. That's really what character design is. And I think that we often get so caught up in the design aspect that we forget about character. Like, who is this person?
Yeah,
Who is this going to be when we see him on the
yeah,
screen?
yeah. That's really interesting learning about the process and that there's a lot more that goes on in the process besides like just the drawing portion. And besides being a character designer, you're also a freelance illustrator, and I feel like the freelance world is a bit like confusing. Can you explain a little bit about your experience as a freelance artist and what are some tips that you will give to a freelance artist?
Yeah. So freelance is it can be scary, not gonna
Yeah.
lie. It can be scary sometimes not knowing where the next project is going to come from. But we live in a time right now where it's much easier than it's ever been to find work. There's plenty of websites out there that are that have people posting saying we need an artist. Can you help me? And you can say, hey, I got you right here. I would say one of the biggest things, maybe not the number one thing, but the biggest thing that I can think of at the moment is don't undersell yourself. That is very common for a lot of artists, especially when a lot of artists tend to have this imposter syndrome where they don't feel like they're as good as they really are. And, they'll see a project that involves 30 hours of work, but they're getting paid $200. And like, it's just not fair.
Mhm.
So really make sure you know what you're worth. Look at other projects that are similar or ask people that in your circle that you may know of who have done similar work and see what they would charge. Matter of fact, I literally just in the last few days contacted a friend of mine and said, hey, I was asked to do this project. What do you think I should charge? And they gave me like, you should charge this, and this. It's like, all right, done. And so it makes it a lot easier when you have a circle around you, people who
Mhm.
can support.
Yeah. As an entertainment designer, your art is very important, but I'm sure that there's also a lot of non-art skills that you need to have to become a successful character designer or concept artist or just artist in general. So, what non-art skills or qualities do you think is important for someone who wants to pursue a career in the industry?
Yeah, so I took a class in my second to last semester of grad school, and my teacher said there are two rules in this class: do good work and be a good person. And that was it. That was it. So obviously, do good work is part of the question, part of the art thing, right? And
Yeah.
being strong to do the job, but really having people skills. Don't be a jerk. Don't talk about people behind their back. It's really kind of simple, almost kindergarten level stuff. Like don't say certain things. Don't be rude. Don't uh, just have people skills. Really, I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Just be a genuine person. Be excited about wanting to be there. Try to limit complaining as much as possible because a lot of people don't like complainers. Um, and and I think people will be able to sense how genuine you are. And
Yeah.
one thing that I know for sure is, let's say you're working in a studio with someone, you're going to be working next to people for a long time on long days with lots of really crazy deadlines, and a company has to decide, do we want to work with the person who's constantly rude and demeaning to other people,
Mhm.
who does medium to okay work, or do we want to deal with a super rock star artist but who's an absolute menace and a jerk to everyone in the
Yeah.
office? Like it's one of those things, like, what do you want to deal with? So that becomes a very real question.
So, last question. From your own experience in the entertainment design industry and from being a teaching artist on Art Prof, what are some like advice or insights that you would give to high schoolers or college students are who want to pursue the career of being an artist or a designer?
Mm. I would say this is going to sound a little cliche, but chase your passion and really believe in yourself.
Mhm.
I think the biggest hindrance that I have faced myself and my friends have faced is when we don't believe in our own abilities. Um, Usually, whenever I'm sure some people have probably heard of artist block. Usually, it's not so much that you can't physically draw something; it's more of a mental thing.
Yeah.
If mentally there's something wrong or there's something that is not quite clicking, some usually leads to just them not feeling good about what they do. And so I would say all the negative voices, all the people saying that you can't do it or you shouldn't, or asking you why, how are you going to survive and support yourself and all that stuff, cut that out of your life, and or just
Yeah.
don't listen to it, and really just say, these are my goals, this is my plan A, and I'm moving forward with it. Like when I was growing up, my dad, he used to say, Jordan, in case this art thing doesn't work out, you might want to have a plan B.
Yeah.
I have It's been a long time since we had that conversation. I still don't have a plan B. Like I'm figuring it out as I go. And so far it's worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah, I think that's a really good advice. And yeah, thank you, Jordan, for the interview and giving so much information and advice. I've learned so much, and I think your advice will definitely help a lot of artists and high schoolers or college students who are interested in pursuing entertainment design careers. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned a lot from Jordan about the entertainment design industry. And go check out his Instagram and subscribe to his channel to get more information about the entertainment design and art industry. And also, please give this video a like and subscribe to see more videos about different career industries. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.